spend 40 hours per week with them, you laugh together, you share stories, you even know their kids. But as soon as a promotion comes up or a layoff starts circulating, that friendship changes. One of the biggest career mistakes you can make is confusing proximity with loyalty. You're not part of a family. You're part of a competitive ecosystem. And if you treat your coworkers like your best friends, you're exposing yourself to a betrayal that you won't see coming until it's too late. Today, I'm breaking down 5 reasons why your coworkers are not your friends and how to protect your boundaries without becoming the office outcast. The first reason, you didn't choose them, but HR did. The first reason is simple. You didn't choose your coworkers. In real life, you choose your friends based on shared memories and values, whereas in a job, the recruiters actually choose your coworkers. It's more like a functional alliance. Your coworker sits in the same meeting as you, they face the same leadership, the same impossible deadlines, so they truly get it. You can rant to your partner or your friend after work, and they will listen, but they can never actually feel it. Your coworker does. Your brain mistakes this mutual understanding for a lifelong bond. You're actually bonding over shared frustrations and not shared values. And the second this common enemy is gone because you switch a company or you get a new manager, that friendship is usually hitting a brick wall because you realize that all you have in common really was a dislike for that 4 p.m. meeting on a Friday. So recognize the difference between situational friends and true friends. Of course, be friendly, helpful, be a great teammate, but don't invest your deepest emotional labor into these people that are only in your life because of a recruitment profile. The second reason is the conflict of interest. You might grab lunch together every day, but at the end of the quarter, you're both competing for the same limited resources. The 5% raise, or the exceeds expectations rating, or that one senior manager title. I once worked for a company where the culture was extremely tight-knit and everyone would share everything with each other. And then it got out that one colleague was doing drugs after work because her friend that she had told couldn't keep a secret, and that information traveled straight to leadership, completely destroying a promotion that she was in line for. The lesson? You can share your high-level weekend plans, but don't share your radical views on the CEO or your extracurricular activities. Reason number 3. Your secrets are data. This is the most dangerous one. You feel safe, so you vent and you tell about your mental health status, your relationship struggles, your quiet quitting. In a professional setting, vulnerability is often mistaken for liability. So if you tell a coworker about your struggles, they will consciously or subconsciously use that to evaluate your fitness for the job. If you tell a coworker that you're burned out and depressed, they might sympathize to your face. But when then a high-pressure project comes, they might tell your boss, maybe don't give it to them. They don't seem to be in the right headspace for this right now. Seems like care, but really it's a career killer. So unfortunately, you have to ask yourself, before you share a personal struggle, if your boss knew about this, would they view you as a liability? And if the answer is yes, better keep it out of the office. Quick break. If you want to navigate the corporate world without getting burned, hit subscribe because I post these kinds of insider deep dives every week to help you stay ahead. Now, let's get back to it. Reason number 4, employment is transactional. We like to think that work is about mission and culture, but in reality, employment is fundamentally transactional. You provide a skill and they provide a paycheck. It is a contractual relationship. When a company does layoffs, they don't look at who is friends with whom, but they really just look at a spreadsheet and make a decision based on that. And if you have tied your emotional well-being to your coworkers, you will feel personally betrayed by a business decision. So make sure that your primary emotional support comes from outside of the company. It keeps you grounded when office politics get messy. Reason number 5, the echo chamber of negativity. When your coworkers become your only friends, it's like doing a second shift. You go to a happy hour just to talk about work and talk about meetings and deadlines. This creates a negative feedback loop. You never really leave work, and instead of recharging, you just talk about management failures and office dramas, and that can really lead to faster burnout because you're kind of lacking this outside perspective that tells you that all of this office drama doesn't actually matter. I've seen teams where the entire friendship was built on hating their boss, and they stayed in toxic roles way longer than they should have because they had this false sense of loyalty to their teammates. So what can you do about it? You need to diversify your social portfolio. And if you do go out with your coworkers after work, then make sure you only spend a maximum of 10 to 15 minutes talking about work, and then you move on to something else, anything else, without oversharing too much on your personal life. So setting boundaries doesn't make you a cold person or an office outcast, but remember you're there to build a career and not a social club. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, And let me know in the comments if you ever had a coworker that turned on you when things got competitive. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.